Manny, stop playing with your gun. All y'all are just fucking around. Alright, welcome back to the Aftermath Podcast, Episode 3. Today we're going to talk about video games, everything that has to do with video games. So, how we wanted to start this off was what we think, like, some things that make a good video game, other than, obviously, the games have to be finished. So, we'll start off with Jared. What's the most important thing?
I'll be honest, for me, the most important thing is whenever, take like EA, they release a game like fucking Star Wars Battlefront. Holy fuck, I cannot speak.
I hate that game. Because there's like nothing to do.
Not only that, but you buy the game, but the game you buy was half the game that they said it was going to be, because you have to buy a DLC, and then you have to buy the next DLC. I don't know if they did that in Star Wars Battlefront. I was just giving an example. But,
I believe they did. EA is all about that DLC making money.
But I just really get sick of these fucking game corporations always having to pickpocket you for more money, because the game's complete. You just have to go back and buy the rest. It gets really old. It really makes playing video games a rich man's hobby.
Yeah, so you just want like no microtransactions and shit. You want full games.
Not only just microtransactions, but like if you're gonna sell a DC, like
DLC.
Yeah, or DLC, make sure that the before you sell it, the game itself has a lot of content. Don't just sell like a cover and then like all the content comes with the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do like what they did with Fallout 4. Give us a really good game and then give us a couple really good DLCs.
Oh yeah. All right, that's a good one. Manny, you're next. I'm gonna move the mic up real quick.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the same. This is pretty much the same thing as Jared. It's just that, I can understand. Actually, I don't really like it at all, because things like pre-ordering and before the game, like a year before the game even comes out, I find that really annoying sometimes. Yeah. They're like, yeah, it helps the game developers though. It's like, well, no, you're technically putting you're pretty much risking your money either being put towards a really good game or a really stupid game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen my friends pre-order like a lot of different games, like No Man's Sky. I had a shit ton of people pre-ordered that game.
That's a really good example.
Well before anything. Like it was so vague, but like they said, it'll have fun, it'll be amazing, it'll be awesome.
You'll be able to come across other people.
Yeah, and once they got their game, everyone instantly realized, wow, why did I spend that money?
These fuckers just ripped you off. Yeah.
Yep. And so I know they've added plenty of updates, but again, it's like, what's the fucking point? Yeah, it's like they already lost your entire fan base.
Yeah, everybody lost interest. It's like,
I believe they only have like 500 people playing total right now.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like No Man's Sky. Who the fuck wants to play that failure of a game?
Yeah,
like,
and it gets down to the point of like that Mass Effect game, Andromeda.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I first saw that, I was like, wow. But anyway, back to what makes a good game for me is I have to say the immersion. If the immersion
isn't going to be my answer.
If the immersion isn't good for me, like if the immersion's not good,
then what kind of immersion?
Like it depends on the game. Like if you're gonna have a fucking scary ass game,
a horror game,
yeah, like a horror game. You have games where the setting feels right. The lighting is perfect the way it needs to be. Sounds and everything. It all has to come together to make that immersion feel like you're actually fucking in the scary part of the game.
Like I want a game that for immersion for me to be focused. Like I play Overwatch competitively, and so whenever a match gets real intense, I just get fully immersed. Like I don't blink until I either die or the match has been lost. Or won.
It gets to that point where you're just like, you're so focused in the game where if like something unexpected happens, you either deal with it or you get surprised as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so for me then, because Manny fucking took my answer with immersion, I'm gonna have to go with music on this one. Because I've played a lot of games with shitty soundtracks, like a lot of games. You can take Call of Duty, for example. They have one of the worst soundtracks in the gaming
By far,
universe.
like, I agree. Call of Duty's soundtrack is,
Fucking garbage.
yeah, it's like worse than shooting myself in the face.
Yeah, it's fucking boring too. But like, I remember the best Call of Duty that had the best soundtrack was Black Ops 2.
Yeah,
They had a fantastic soundtrack, and like one of my favorite things in that game was after the credits of the main thing, they would have Avenged Sevenfold fucking play their song.
Yeah,
That was like my favorite song for
that
a
was
while.
amazing. That was
a very good one. But games with the best soundtrack that I've played has definitely been Final Fantasy. The Final Fantasy series has always had epic music.
I've always thought the Halo series has always had really good.
They're
Like,
definitely
wow.
the best too.
Halo soundtrack is probably up there. It's got to be up there in the top 10.
It's top 5, dude.
Like
Definitely one of the best.
Halo 3, that opening scene,
Right.
or the home screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like just like that men's choir is like the most fucking like beautiful manliness. And then on Halo 4 they did like the women's choir, like aroused.
I know that. Now I know that this game hasn't been getting a lot of.
But like, I can say like a game that has one of the kind of the most dull soundtracks was The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I hate that game with a burning passion. I'm not going to talk about that unless we bring it up in a topic and why we hate it. But
Yeah,
the music, like in the sky specifically, is just so damn boring. Like it's quiet. It's like for something like that, I want music to be blaring as well.
I want to feel
because
like
we'll
I'm
be
fucking
flying around.
like marching on to battle. Like I want some epic fucking music.
Yeah, and Overwatch doesn't have like that good. They don't have that good of a soundtrack either, but the music is still good regardless, depending on like the map and other stuff. But
Right.
It's just quiet.
Right.
Unless you turn it up.
I know that this one game, it hasn't received a whole lot of love. I like it because of the series, and it's a very interesting title, Mafia. And it wasn't
series.
Yeah, well, the Mafia series, it was really good. 1 and 2 were really good. The music was perfect because it was Italian. And that's what, the second one, I haven't played the first one. I know that the second one was mainly Italian because you were part of the Italian Mafia here in America.
Mute your phones.
Of Boston. My phone's muted. Fuck you.
You sure, Manny? Because the last time
Yeah,
the
I
three of us
remember.
were together, yours blurred in the middle.
Yeah, see?
All right.
It's fine.
Just making sure. Sorry, continue. Mafia.
Yeah, so like it's the Italian Mafia, you get put into Mafia, the only way you can get in is if you're fucking all the way, like through and through, all the way from Italy.
Yeah,
Italia. I like to stick with Italia.
Italia.
The third game came out, and that one didn't receive a whole lot of love, mainly because it didn't stick with the theme of Mafia, even though, it's kind of the same thing. You have different... It's basically gangs and Mafia and, like, all this other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have characters that show like pretty good emotion. You have physics and cutscenes that look nice. And like the opening, not the opening, but like the moment like the title comes out, like that when they show the title of the game in the beginning, your character gets shot in the head,
Oh god.
nearly dies, and like the place he's in burns to the floor. Okay.
Splendid.
And what made that really nice is that right before all that shit happened, Rolling Stones' Paint It Black started playing.
That would be a good
I was
song
so
for that, actually.
Rolling Stone. Yeah,
I
that
was-
would be a good song.
I was so I was pumped after that to play the game. I was like, ah! yes. I was so
Yes, Daddy. Yes.
I was just
Yes.
I was so ready and I was so hyped, and then. It wasn't a bad game. It's just that every now and then
It
it's
just seems like it's dull.
There was a drop point here and there, but like the whole point of your character is revenge,
Yeah.
and so that's why you get together all these other gangs, and you have the main character from Mafia 2 in there too as well, on your side, helping you out with his gang, and so it's like it's really nice.
Yeah.
You have three separate gangs. You have like an Irishman, you have an African American woman, and then you have the Italian mafia. Which I thought was really cool.
But I just realized now that the best video game for me with the best soundtrack is definitely World of Warcraft.
Of course it is.
World
Blizzard,
of Warcraft has got
some of the best fucking music ever. Anyway, we'll move on to the next one. Jared, what do you feel like the next important thing is? Because it's going from most important thing to least important thing.
next important thing.
We're gonna go for 5 of those, so we have 4 more.
I'm confused. What? Why?
I don't know. It's a toughie because once we start getting past things like this,
I already know my least important thing, so...
I think my next most important thing would definitely have to be how the game is delivered, how it's advertised, how it's shown off. Because if you have, like, game over hype, you get fucking No Man's Sky again.
And then, like, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
The
trailer for that looked...
It looked
like
decent.
Hyped,
It
but
looked decent.
It was fucking terrible.
But let's be honest, everybody over fucking hyped No Man's Sky. They saw one trailer and everybody lost their minds.
And they just saw that, it'll take
and I'll be honest, I thought, because I heard everybody talking about it, I thought it was going to be really good too. But
I did too.
I watched game footage of it, I watched Mark play it, I watched Boogie2988 play it, and they were all pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
I really do think how a game is advertised and presented in trailers can have a very, very big impact on how well the game does, how nice people think it is. I mean, I'll be honest, people probably wouldn't have hyped up No Man's Sky as much as they did. There's a chance that game probably would have done a little bit better than it did. The problem is these game developers create these trailers that I don't want to necessarily say...
You know the most disappointing thing about No Man's Sky was? The fact that there was no, like, intelligent life, like colonies or cities, as far as I know. There was none of that.
Yeah, it was just all
it was
exploring
fucking
animals.
dull. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going from planet to fucking planet. Every once in a while you get in a space battle. And, that's the thing is, No Man's Sky, that's the only thing they showed whenever they advertised it. They only showed, like, the space battles and you flying up to space stations that you find out in the middle. Like, they showed a little bit of how you travel through the fucking from galaxy to galaxy, from solar system to solar system.
Yeah.
It was really fucking stupid how they advertised it, and quite frankly, it was annoying too because they didn't show anything like really much any on planet experience, like what it's like to be on the surface. They didn't show any like farming. They didn't show anything of like exploring on a planet, like running into like one of the little outposts where the aliens are, like the little alien dudes you can learn a word from and talk to and get materials
and
from.
Like it's obvious that there are other like intelligent species, but they don't have like planets with towns with them or anything.
It's just little fucking
disappointing,
outposts
and
ruins that you can come across. So
and that's like not realistic either.
They
no way.
They missed the point whenever it came time to, in all honesty, advertising it and showing what the game was truly about. Instead, they just gave everybody thoughts and ideas of what they thought the game was going to be about. And in reality, that's not what the game was about. It was completely different than what they were thinking about. Yeah. And it ruined the game. People, they got a lot of sales on it, but the people
refunds.
they got a lot of. They also got a lot of refunds, and they also got people who didn't exactly have enough money at the time to buy the game.
Yeah,
the people who saw the game footage and gameplay of No Man's Sky made up their mind, and they were like, "This fucking game sucks. Why would I?" Well, why would I ever...
Like, I was looking to get it when it came out on the Xbox One.
Yeah, I wanted to get it too, but I saw Boogie2988 play it 3 times on a stream, and literally he didn't even make it to the center of the galaxy. He just got bored of it.
Yeah.
And it was literally the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, and we were expecting to find people like other people playing like.
Yeah, that was one of the things
that was a
advertised
big
that was
disappointment.
fucking
Like
bullshit.
that was one of the biggest disappointments I think because they made it sound like you could find people like relatively
multiplayer
easy.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, like a multiplayer game. Like
And there's no
you'd
such
go
thing as
a while,
multiplayer in
you
that
wouldn't
game
find
either.
anybody, and then you'd land on a planet and somebody would be there at the planet. Well, nobody found anybody because they made it's just too fucking big.
Mhm.
So
Not only that, it's a single player game too. There's like no actual multiplayer
Yeah.
in it.
So I think that would have to probably be my next biggest pet peeve. Advertising and presentation
Yeah.
before the game is actually released.
All right, Manny, your go.
Well, what were we talking about? I zoned out. Like hardcore.
What is
More or
your-
less,
yeah,
like the next most important thing in a video game is.
Oh, okay. I guess the next most important thing to me has to be. It has to be like the actual plot.
The story.
The story.
Yeah.
that was my
story.
next one too, you motherfucker.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like you look at a lot of games, games like The Last of Us, you have that.
Oh god.
That was a beautiful story. It made me cry.
The Last of Us was gorgeous.
Now they're making the second game of it, which I'm really hoping they do. I mean, like actually, like it's good.
it's
I'm hoping-
definitely gonna be good.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried
Naughty
about.
Dog's always had a history of making good games.
Yep.
What
Speaking
would be
of
good?
speaking of what Naughty Dog made, what was it called?
Uncharted.
Uncharted. Thank you.
Don't talk
Uncharted.
about Uncharted 4 because I want to stay
Well,
spoiler free
even
because I
still-
still haven't played it yet.
Okay, look, the
You
thing.
haven't?
No, I still know nothing about that game,
Oh
dude.
my god.
Other than the title.
It was like me when I wanted to play The Last of Us. Like I saw like the beginning of it and I was like, okay, that looks awesome.
I'm
Don't
sold.
show me anything else. The Uncharted series has is a great story too.
Oh yeah.
Jerry, what other story? Like it's just
Story based.
Story-based
Far
games.
Cry Primal was really
Oh
really
yeah,
good
that
for
one's
me.
a good.
that one was.
Far Cry Primal, and I'm sorry again, but I'm a huge Fallout 4 fan. The Fallout 4 story
Gears
was
of War.
yeah,
entire
Gears
series.
of War, all the Gears of War.
Even
those
Judgment
were good.
even Judgment. As much as I hate that game, I thought it had a pretty good story.
I mean, story is very important.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Oh, yeah.
story. As as long as your voice actors know like what they're doing and who they're playing as, and like what the fuck happened with Dead Island. I mean, I'm sorry to bash it. It was a fun game.
I enjoyed Dead Island, but
It's just that the voice acting and some of the shit that went on in there was like
the
why
graphics.
all their budget went into making the trailer and the fucking
Yeah, I know, right?
blood splatter effects.
So yours is story. Then,
My
huh?
story, yes.
Yeah, I remember like the best video game story I've ever played. It has definitely been the entire Gears of War series.
All right.
I love the story for that, especially like the books too that are like in between the games. I've read them all. I think my friend Andrew, I lent him one of the books, and he has yet to give it back to me, but he still has it. All right, so for me, the next thing, mechanics, game mechanics.
Oh yeah, that's very important.
Because oh man, because all games have different type of mechanics. Like, have you guys ever played Super Monkey Ball on the GameCube?
No.
Oh my god.
Wait,
that game-
yes!
Yeah, that game
Yes,
is
I
so
have.
much fucking fun.
I have. Okay.
Because the mechanics are bizarre, original, and very interesting.
Like me and my friends, I don't even remember. Like, oh my, nostalgia.
The nostalgia is hitting you hard, bruh.
And like,
I just remember I was like, wow.
and then games like World of Warcraft have very interesting mechanics, like on the bosses and other stuff like that. And then each character in Overwatch has their own specific set of skills, which can kind of goes with mechanics of the game on how to play them
Right.
or how to deal with them.
With game mechanics, I think that's very important because if you don't have good game mechanics, it can be like
Yeah, it'll be
You
a
have,
messy
like, a-
game.
Yeah,
Broken game.
it. Not only that, it just gets frustrating too sometimes.
Oh yeah. That's all I have to say about that. Jared, what's your next important thing?
My
We're
next
saying it 3 out
important
of 5.
thing, because it's kind of a tie. For me, I think it had to be like the user interface.
Okay.
Cause let's just talk about like MMO games, like online MMO games, like Rust, Unturned, like survival games,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Right.
You want a nice, smooth user interface. If you don't have a nice, smooth user interface, nobody's gonna play your fucking game. Especially for like a game like Rust, because let's say you're in the middle of a fucking fight and you're looking for something in your inventory. Well, if you can't find that something in your inventory because the user interface is a piece of shit, let's be honest. How often are you going to want to play that game? How often are you going to want to come back to that game?
Some games like World of Warcraft, for their interfaces, they have like add-ons to help with that, make it look better to what people would like.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Star Trek Online. Like the user interface. Like, there's a lot of user interface. I'll be honest, on Star Trek, it's a lot like World of Warcraft in that matter.
Oh yeah, it is. I've played both, so I would know.
Like there's a lot of shit that you can do on both games with the user interface. But they're easy to pick up, they're easy to learn, and they're friendly. They're friendly to new players who are trying to learn it, and that's what's important too. Is if you have a game that is always updating or releasing new content, you always want to have a game that is the interface, the user interface is always friendly for people to learn. Because if it's not friendly for people to learn, if it's hard for people to learn at all, people aren't going to want to play your game. People aren't going to want to come back. It can ruin a game.
It was like this one game. I forget the name of it. I saw a YouTuber play it. It tried being a survival game, like kind of like Rust in a way, but it failed miserably because
I think I know what you're talking about.
Is it like in Romero's Aftermath?
I don't remember the name. All I know is like,
because that's one that failed really hard because of the interface.
Yeah, the YouTuber that played it, he was like, I don't even know how to play this game. There's not even a control scheme thing, like control help. Nothing.
Yeah, it's just like where some things are.
Yeah, it was just like, bam, you're in the game. Good luck. Figure out the buttons on your own, and then
Did you hear that some guy is getting sued by a game company because he left a bad review for a game that they made that was actually terrible?
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
It is stupid. But yeah, I was like,
take that advice on what people say why the game is bad and learn from it, make it better.
Right?
It
was like from that game, like because the game he was laughing his ass off because of it. Because like there'd be like this rock right here. It would even say specified metal or rock right on your screen, and then it would be like, okay, so gather, and your character's sitting there doing this fucking gathering shit. You have to hold the button down. If you don't hold it down, it just stops it immediately. And so the bar completely filled up, and then it would tell you that the rock would disappear. The entire fucking rock would disappear, and then it would tell you, no metal ore gathered, or there's no metal ore here.
Yeah,
he would just be like, oh, "Are you fucking?" Like he'd just eventually start yelling into the mic. He's like, "Are you fucking shitting me?"
All right, next one for you, Manny. You better not steal mine again.
Well, I mean, you guys, you guys both had some really good ones that I would put next. But I guess the next one up here would have to be voice acting for me, because if you don't,
I don't have to kill you. Congrats, you live another day. Because that was actually like after this one that I was gonna say this time.
You don't want the voice acting sounding like it came out of like a 1970s.
Right? Movie. Yeah. Like I hate to do this, but it was like, because it was an entertaining game. Dead Island was an entertaining game, but then the voice acting came out, and you're just like, dull. Why? Did these actors even know what they were?
Did they know
doing?
what they're doing? Like, did the game creators can you even edit, bruh?
Yeah, honestly, it was like the voice actors walked in, sat down, looked at their lines, kind of just like read it to themselves, and they're like, "Okay, that was good job," and like that was it. They just sat down. They're like, "Okay, let's see here. Oh no, the zombies are coming. What do we do? All right, that's good. What?"
And they only had like 3 lines too, like consecutive lines, like battle lines.
Yeah, have you noticed
that got so old?
Have you noticed that when you first wake up on the ship, that they use the exact same lines that they did from what's it called, from the first game? So like from Dead Island to
Dead
Riptide.
Island, Riptide.
You notice that they use the same lines, the same voices, like the same everything. Like they didn't even bother saying it differently.
It saved them money.
It saved them a lot of money, and it saved them a lot of time.
But that's fucking lazy.
But it's lazy as fuck.
That's lazy game design right there.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so for me, character design. I don't want fucking dull ass characters like from let's say
Island.
No, not that.
Dead Island. They look so
yeah.
dead inside.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Dead Island.
As entertaining as
basically
that
any
game
zombie
is.
game. All the character designs in zombie games are dull, but I want to say, which I'm gonna get a lot of shit
Andromeda.
for, Half-Life.
Well,
The
yeah.
I hate the character designs in Half-Life. They're so fucking boring.
I never played Half-Life.
Yeah, the character designs to me are boring
I
as hell.
liked it. Well, what do you expect? I mean,
Yeah.
it's meant to be simple.
I like the game.
It was
but they're
made
just
back
a little
in
dull.
the '90s, wasn't it? Throughout the 2000s.
Let me check that right now.
Yeah, I never played the Half-Life.
I haven't played Half-Life 1. I've played Half-Life 2 and
Oh, Half-Life 2 improved with character designs, but Half-Life 1, 98.
Yeah.
But even for the time, the character designs in Half-Life 1 are dull. It's like, especially with like the scientists specifically, they're just clones. I don't want clone character designs. It's very fucking boring.
remember, that's
yeah,
the- I mean,
it gets old.
It's 98, guys. Come
Yeah.
on. 98.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like that's like the best you could do.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean you could try going back and setting details in, but remember,
No, give one a mustache, one a beard.
Memory back then was hard, and that's why if you look at games like Silent Hill, the first Silent Hill,
Or the first Resident Evil.
yeah, that's why
Yeah, that's
Silent Hill did an amazing job of that, because even though their budget was short in memory, the reason why like they have the fog there, so that way you're not seeing outside the fucking map.
Yeah.
And that's what they utilized. And because back then memory was such a big deal, and because they only had like maybe megabytes, dude.
Yeah.
Megabytes. And so that's how that game was. It wasn't that big. It wasn't as big as a gig. I don't even think Half-Life 1 was as big as a gigabyte. It was probably megabytes.
Yeah, definitely megabytes.
Because and like you gotta remember some games like back then, like in '98, back when that game was released, it's like they could only do so much, and they had such a small team to do it.
Yeah.
So of course you're gonna see repetitive civilian citizen soldiers, you know.
Yeah, like the soldiers are understandable, but I feel like with the scientists, because they're all the same looking,
Well,
they
then
should
go-
like give the
then-
scientists
well,
their
then
each
go
little
play-
feature that makes
then
them different.
Go play Black Mesa. The DLC. How about that? It's using the Half-Life 2 engine, so be happy
Yeah.
with that. There you go. They look better.
All right, so Jared, we'll just go to the least important thing for the sake of time, because we covered a lot of ground.
Least important from the most important things for me would have to be controls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, frustrating controls piss me off.
Yeah.
It's like Z and X to crouch or go prone. It's like
Do you know what I hate in
That's
games?
fucking
You know what I
annoying.
hate in games?
Yeah.
Tutorials. I hate tutorials in games.
All right. Well, then you told us what you were.
That's not my least important thing, but that's just something that I hate in modern games.
for me, it's definitely controls because like. For like, usually most games use universal controls. I mean, especially with like PC, because I mainly play games
Click,
on
click,
PC.
click, click, click.
Yeah,
That's all the controls.
yeah. Well, no, and then you have WASD,
Oh yeah, but you know
and
what I mean.
then
I'm trying
like
to be a smart ass
an
here.
open inventory is usually tab.
That or sometimes it's
Or
frustrating.
B for bad.
Yeah. I find I to be the most frustrating.
Yeah, I feel like the easiest one is B because it's like B for bag.
Yeah, I always like I just reach over.
Well,
that
that's
quick,
fucking
quick.
World of Warcraft. World
And
of
other
Warcraft
games.
is fucking no. I think
There are
World
a
of
couple
Warcraft
other
is the
games.
only one that uses
It's
that.
usually always been tab for inventory.
No,
Yeah,
this is like a game you can get online. It's free. I think it's free still. Adventure Quest Worlds. You guys ever
Never
play
heard
Adventure
of
Quest?
that.
No, I've never even heard
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
like a flash MMO. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely controls. It's just frustrating going into a game and
With complex controls.
yeah, or just like fucking retarded controls. Like
Yeah.
I am bread.
Oh,
Don't get me
get
started.
me started.
Yeah, like you want to see Zeus fucking start shooting
Jared.
lightning bolts and
Get it out of
breaking
anger.
shit. Get me going on I Am Bread. Like the controls in that fucking game are just.
My friend Andrew can say something like that about Mario Maker. Not because the controls
Oh
are bad,
my
but just
God,
because
Mario
the levels are infuriating.
The Mario Maker, yeah, it's just a fucking level. So, like, the controllers are fine.
The
but
controls
levels-
are a typical Mario game, but like the maps are mostly made are like they say it's impossible, but that's because it's made by a fucking 5-year-old,
Yeah,
like fresh out of the mother's womb.
yeah, like, I don't know how people do the speed runs and, like, competitive and, like, with
It's
that.
crazy.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's obvious you have no life, because, damn,
Yeah.
you, like, you're literally spending 12 hours a day on Mario Maker speedrunning through some of this
Yeah,
shit.
fucking get a life, get a job. Anyway, Manny, what's your least important thing? In
Well, I
games?
guess because I was gonna say this anyway, but then you said it too earlier. It was just that tutorials on some
Oh,
games.
yeah.
Some games do tutorials right. Okay, they don't waste your time by pausing the fucking screen to tell you how to do something.
Yeah, like I remember. You remember the Mega Man sequelitis, right?
Yes, I have.
We talked about tutorials on that. I can agree with Aaron on
Because
that easily.
because I'd be like in the middle of the zone fighting an enemy and I'm like going in for the final hit and then it's like, wait! Like there's fucking screen.
hit this button to do the finishing move.
If you want to do this, if you want to do a bloody kill, hit this button and this button at the same time. It's like, well, he's already technically dead, so get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, who cares?
And then you got good tutorials that.
Manny in the middle of tutorial talks.
Oh, alright.
Right.
Just frustrated.
Yep. 45. All right. Continue.
Yeah. So, like I was saying earlier, the tutorials. Some games do it right, some games do it bad.
Yeah.
Others pop a screen in front of you and freeze the whole game. And
Those are the
stop.
tutorials I hate.
Yeah,
the most.
they completely stop the momentum of it. And then you have those where they tell you during, like, say, like it's just like a little bar that pops up in the corner of your screen or something like that. And, like, it doesn't stop the motion of the game. It's just like, remember, you can do this or you can do that.
Yeah.
It's during a tutorial, it's going to explain shit. It's going to tell you shit of what you can do, what you can't do. And so, like, say, like you're running along through like a hallway or something that's like that, and like something's glowing on the wall, and it's like you can pull this off the wall and use as a weapon,
Yeah.
And so I like tutorials that I like that, but tutorials are usually the least of my worries when I'm playing video games.
Oh yeah. For me, it's graphics.
Graphics.
Yeah, because who cares about a game with good graphics if the game itself is fucking garbage? You can take No Man's Sky, Star Wars Battlefront, any Call of Duty ever.
Yeah.
That's a good example for that.
Because they've all got...
I feel like the graphics being good is just like an icing on top of the cake.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody always cries and complains, oh, the graphics...
The graphics are shitty, but everything in the game is great. Like, runs good.
Yeah, but the game is trash because the graphic... No.
Yeah.
Shut the
Yeah.
fuck up.
That's more or less all we have to say about
Yeah.
that.
I have a topic in mind for you guys, real quick.
Oh.
It's it's basically something I just stole off the internet. It's
All right.
The
You
question.
internet thief.
Yes, the question was, you wake up in the last video game that you the last video game that you played. Where
World of
are
Warcraft.
you? World of Warcraft.
Yeah, before that though, it would be Overwatch.
Oh, I'm so fucked.
What'd you play?
Rust.
I was kind of hoping you'd say Subnautica.
I'm pretty fucked too. Mine's The Last of Us.
Oof.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little.
Subnautica.
I feel like I have it easy.
before that was 7 Days to Die, and before that was
Oh.
Subnautica. So like, if we go back 2 games, then I'm in Subnautica. Then I'm really
Yeah.
fucked. But Rust alone is like shit creek.
I feel like I have it easier than you guys because I have World of Warcraft. Like, I
Yeah, like,
you
know,
can go and
just
fuck
simple
shit up.
townsfolk, yeah.
Me and him are stuck. Like, he's stuck fighting zombies, and I'm stuck dealing with other asshole people. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
with my schlong hanging everywhere. So, I mean, it
That's
sucks.
Well, you're fighting. Yeah, I'm fighting both. Well, you're fighting animals and people. I'm over here.
You fucking ninja
fighting,
bears.
Fighting
Ninja bears.
right? And you're
Yeah.
and you're over there running the risk of getting attacked while you're sleeping.
Yeah, yeah,
and then I'm
exactly.
over here, like, constantly looking for things to use as weapons, and people and zombies. And it's not a good combination at the same time, especially if you're playing on hard
Yeah.
or grounded difficulty.
So,
Yeah.
from what you remember, what was the first video game you guys have ever played?
Age of Empires 2.
For me, it was the first Diablo. on my dad's computer. He didn't know. I don't think he knows still. But I played on one of his characters for a little bit.
I broke it.
Played one of his characters for a little bit, died, got all his gear back, and then got off.
For me...
But that's from what I can remember. According to my mother, my first game was like a Blue's Clues game on the computer. When I was like 2.
For me, my first video game would have to be those Pornhub games you see on the site. No, I'm just kidding.
Man, you got into that shit really young. How did you know Pornhub was a thing when you were like 4 or 5?
I don't even think it was around then.
It wasn't. I had this thing called boobs.com. That's shut down.
Yeah, sex.com too. That's what we had back in the day.
For me, honestly, I think it was the first Halo. I think I was like 5, 6 years old. And I was actually while we were getting my first game console, the PlayStation 2. We were over at Best Buy, and my parents were off gawking at TVs and the surround system, and then of course the PlayStation 2 itself, and I went off over the side to the computers, where I've always had a love and a passion for computers. I think this is where it first started, because I got to play the first Halo on at a demo on a computer at Best Buy. And it was from that point on that I had absolutely fallen in love with video games and computers, and I knew that my future would somewhere be along the path of computers and video games and editing and videoing and stuff like that, because it clicked at that moment.
The next question was, where did your love of video games come from? But man, he still has to answer his first video game from what he remembers.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did he say? I didn't...
Age of Empires 2.
Oh yeah, you just stated that out real quick at the beginning.
Yeah, because it was a fun game. I was interested in the fact that you can control people, which for some reason as a little kid that's all I wanted to do.
After Diablo, it was Warcraft 2, I believe, for the PC still. There's actually a PlayStation 1 version in town, which I want to get, but money.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you need a PlayStation 1 too.
Yeah, or PS2.
Yeah.
Goodwill. But still, money.
Yeah.
Anyway, so next question, which Jared already answered. Where did your love of video games come from? So, Manny, what will be yours?
I guess my love of video games came from the fact that it was always a distraction to get away from shit that was going on. Not only because my parents were arguing, or if I just wanted to, or if I was angry or sad or whatever. It was like me finding a way to not do my chores.
Yeah.
For a long time.
For me, it was my mother, because when I would always watch her, according to my grandparents, her play The Legend of Zelda on the NES. And then eventually, when I was like 4 or 5, I think, I don't remember, I got Nintendo 64 and Ocarina of Time. No, 6, and I got a GameCube, and then the Ocarina of Time.
Cool.
No, Wind Waker, then the Ocarina of Time.
Make up your mind.
I remember Wind Waker was my first Zelda game.
Cute.
Indeed.
Yeah, other video game related questions.
I get a question for you guys. When was first time you truly fell absolutely in love with a game? What was the first game like, and why did you fall in love with it so far?
Oh, Jak and Daxter. Specifically the second one.
Jak and Daxter.
The second Jak and Daxter. Because the story is fun, the gameplay is real smooth, and the fact that you had a dark form, which kids love overpowered characters.
Right.
Just the fact you were overpowered as hell in the second and third Jak and Daxter just made a lot more fun for me. That's why, because as a kid, overpoweredness means more fun. What about you, Jared? Well, Manny thinks.
For me, it's a toughie because I got a lot of them out there. First, though, I think it would have to be the second Call of Duty Big Red one.
Oh yeah, the one where you got pissed off at something and said, "God damn it!"
Yeah.
in front of your mom.
The reason why is because that game, it was whenever we got in the PlayStation 2, and it was the first game I touched. We had gotten like 9-10 games with the PlayStation 2, and it was the very first one I opened up.
Yeah.
And I put it in, and of course, the whole home screen, and then I got in the first level, and from there, it was just like, before I knew it, I was like halfway through the game.
Uh-huh.
There was just, to me, the combat, I don't know what it was, but it was just so enjoyable. I could get lost in it. I used to spend hours and hours and hours on it, and literally I'd beat it 4 or 5, 6 times in a month, and I just keep going back to it because I loved it so much.
Yeah.
It was just so fun that I just lost myself in it. You know, I thought it was everything and it could ever be to me.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. What about you, Manny?
Sorry, my back.
Well, I said Jack and Daxter. Why'd you go? Fuck. Was that your answer?
No, because I was trying to remember one of the games, but I realized now that it was always still Age of Empires 2, because I would log countless hours into that fucking game. Because it was a game about strategy, it was a game about, fucking getting troops to the front line as quick as fucking possible to conquer them. And if you didn't, then you were gonna get hit and fucked hard.
All right. Next question then. What's a game you clocked the most hours in?
Age of Empires 2.
World of Warcraft. I've been playing since vanilla, like way back in 2004
Oh wow.
when it first came out.
For me, it's probably a tie between Star Trek Online, because I've got close to 3,700 hours on that game now.
Whew.
And probably, in all honesty, it's probably a close second tie with what the hell is that game? Not Minecraft. It's another survival building game.
Roblox.
No, fuck no. I never played that. Forget what it's called. It's another survival game, but I have close to 2,000 hours in it.
Holy shit.
Daisy.
Both of those haven't been out too long.
No, Daisy's
Daisy's been out for a while.
Yeah, Daisy's been out for a couple of years. STO has been out since like 07, 06.
I've just been comparing it to World of Warcraft.
Remember when what's it called? I think, was the game called H1Z1? I don't remember.
Yeah, H1Z1, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when that game first came out, and then it got shut down because Daisy tried suing them or some shit.
Yeah, some shit.
It was it's basically, it's pretty much the same thing, but don't get mad because they're better than you.
Yeah.
Although I will have to say, a game that has been creeping up slowly and surely on my hours, it's definitely going to have to be Rust, because for some reason I really like that game.
Yeah, for me, recently, it's been Overwatch.
Overwatch, yeah, I would have to say Overwatch, because I think I've got close to 1,000 hours in Overwatch now.
Yeah, I'm right around there, too.
1,900, 1,100, somewhere around that area. And probably next would be Subnautica, just because I think I've got close to 560 hours in that one.
Yeah. How about a game with the least amount of hours you put in there?
Oh, God.
Guns of Icarus, because my computer can't handle it. I only was able to play for 5 minutes and crash. Once I get a better computer, I'm going to play the shit out of it, because it looks like fun.
What's the least I've put down on the game from my list? It would have to be Unturned. I haven't played that game as much as all the other games on my
You don't know what you're missing. That's a fun game.
It is a fun game.
Yeah.
My computer can't handle it for some fucking reason.
I'm pretty sure.
But I can handle stuff like Like, I can run Unturned at only 20 frames a second on my laptop, but I can easily run StarCraft 2
Did you
at
try?
60 frames a second.
Did
I
you
drop in
try-
all the graphics.
Well,
to low.
did you try it after you had cleaned up?
Yeah,
the
I did.
computer?
It still it runs a little better, but not as good as I want it to.
Okay.
What about you, Jared?
For me, it definitely have to be Amnesia because fuck scary games.
I love scary games. Just give me
Love
that game,
horror
man.
games.
I got halfway through the game, which was like 2 hours for me, and I ended up just crying like a bitch by the time I got there. I was like, I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
installing. So I've only got like
Moose
2.5,
Man.
3 hours tops in that game. So
Moose Man.
I,
You remember Moose Man, the guy
I
with the
remember Moose
fucking
and
face?
yeah,
He has the fucking
guy with the
machete
face.
as an arm or some shit.
yeah, I
like
remember that. The other one on my list would probably have to be Slender.
Oh, Slender's a good one.
Fuck
The
that
Arrival
game.
or like the actual
No, the
Slender?
original
Yeah,
Slender.
The Arrival. Oh,
The Arrival is so damn scary.
Dude, I flipped shit whenever I was getting chased by that girl.
Yeah.
I was like, no,
In the
no, 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 no.
mines.
Yeah, in the mines.
Yeah, in the
I
mines. That was the
once,
scariest
Once I
thing
got to the
ever.
mines, I was like, fuck, there's a fucking little girl running around with me too. Fuck that shit.
I spent $10 between those two games, and
I only spent $5.
I don't.
Because I get most of my Steam games during the Steam summer sale.
Yeah.
That's where I got Guns of Icarus. I think I got like a 4-pack, and I got a copy for Andrew, one of my other friends, Amber or Winged Paws, if she still uploads her YouTube channel, I don't remember. And then I think I still have one available, or I gave it to somebody.
Remember that? Remember when back then we would always play fucking Amnesia
The
games?
custom stories.
Custom story
Yeah.
Amnesia games.
I love some of the custom stories. They're so damn creative.
Mm-mm.
Worst game. Worst game you've ever played. Mine is called Morph
it.
X.
I'm sorry, I've played too many
Well,
bad games from Steam.
Actually, it's a tie between Sonic 06 and Morph X, because Morph X was fun in a way. It was kind of like Prototype, but different in its own way. I think it was the company's first game, so it was expected to be not good.
Remember.
But Sonic 06 is a whole nother monster on its own.
I tend to try to forget bad games, and that's what I'm having a hard time.
I
trying to
never
remember
forget
right now.
bad games.
Do you remember?
For me, it'd probably have to be the first Lost Planet. That game was
Oh yeah,
trash.
that game was garbage.
Like, the cancer hit me real hard whenever I started that up the first time. I was like, oh my god, this is horrible.
Yeah, Sonic 06 is definitely mine, actually, because at least Morph X was fun. Sonic 06 was not. Or any Sonic game in general.
I don't fucking remember.
Sonic XP was pretty fun.
Ugh, XP?
Yeah.
Don't you mean Sonic Adventure XD?
What?
Hang on, I'm pretty sure you mean Sonic Adventure XD.
Is it XD? I don't know. All I know is it has like X something in it.
Yeah, it's XD.
Yeah, guys, I don't have any recollection of how
Sonic Adventure 2 was by far the best Sonic game. Guaranteed that game has shit for camera controls. As in none at all. The thing that makes that Sonic Adventure 2 fun is the Chow Garden. Fucking love the Chow Garden. Anyway, we still have 10 minutes in this podcast. It may say an hour right there, but you had a phone call. That took up time, so more questions. Let's see what we got here. First experience of Gamer Rage.
Ugh, shit.
Mine was the first Jak and Daxter. I couldn't figure out how to use the flying machine and kept on dying, and I just screamed and shut the game off.
First experience of Gamer Rage?
Yep.
Hardcore Gamer Rage.
Shit.
For me, definitely have to be playing online with online Call of Duty, Black Ops, zombies with people.
That's a pretty hard one.
Yeah, I fucking lost my shit a lot. Like, people are just so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
I refuse to play with random people and zombies.
That's the way I've gotten. Like, fuck, it's like not even worth it. It's like, revive me. There's not one zombie and I died. And I just lost all my
Yeah.
shit. So now as soon as you shoot the next zombie, I've got a little pistol.
Yep.
And I've got, like, literally a dick hair of time to fucking find a decent weapon. So it's just like, people on like online games period, like that's probably the first time I experienced rage, because whenever I was playing that first online with someone, I flipped shit. I ended up throwing my Xbox controller. I bursted it everywhere. I made this 360 controller blow up everywhere. And then I was even madder at that point. So whenever that had happened, I probably didn't play for like a week after. I mean, I was just so pissed off because for one, I got stuck with the potato team, and for two, I broke my controller because of it. So I was just like, I'm done with Xbox for a little while.
Yeah.
Fuck console.
I think. Oh shit! I'm trying to remember.
There's
always. No, that wasn't my first.
No,
that wasn't. I don't think. Because I'm remembering back to like before. No, actually, that was well before. No, because I had it when I was playing the 360 at my friend's house. He was a dick to me half the time, when we were playing games, and whenever I tried messing with him, he'd get really mad at me. Anyway, like we were playing Halo 3 co-op on like hard difficulty, and because you've played Halo. Have you played Halo 3, Jeremy?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so you've played it.
Yeah, I'm like a big Halo fan.
Yeah, so
I've played all of them.
I forget the name of the mission, but it was like in Halo 3. It was like one of the first missions. It was on the first level, wasn't it? It was like where
Save
you have to get saved. You get picked up by a pelican that comes down. You're on this fucking big platform, and like you're surrounded by jungle.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I know where
you do save.
And there's like 4 or 5 fucking brutes with and
then you have that
gravity hammers you gotta defeat. Oh my god.
Yeah, that pissed me off so much.
I'll be honest, that made me pretty mad because I don't know how many times I died on that level to those fucking brutes. They came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like, they were fucking ninjas. Like shit you not.
Dude, as soon as I heard a brute, as soon as you hear that
yeah,
you're just like fuck where.
Yeah, you just start shooting everywhere, and then like there was like 5 of them, and then not to mention you got like 800 fucking grunts around you with needlers. Like, oh my god, that mission was just by far infuriating. Mm-hmm. And try doing it like heroic or legendary on top of it. It's just like
that's the worst.
Fuck.
Yeah, and me and my friend, like, it didn't even help that my friend was being a dick half the time. Where we would like, before we'd even get to that point of the mission, he would just throw a plasma grenade on me, blow me up, and then laugh, and then I'd be like, okay, stop, please stop. And then he'd keep doing that, and then that mission came down, and then like he looked at me, he was like, man, this looks really hard. I was like, yeah, it does. I was like, I think we're halfway through though. He just turns and shoots me in the head with a shotgun. I was like, are you fucking?
You had friendly fire on?
Yeah, of course we did.
Yeah.
I always have it off when I want to play multiplayer games.
That's the way I am, because I don't trust my brother for one, and I don't trust you either.
Yeah. All right. So next question. The first time you had to shut off a game because you got scared.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Metal Gear Solid 2. Oh, explain.
Wait, I think it was Metal Gear Solid 2. It was either that or 3. It was probably 2. It was like the first appearance of when Orion came into play. I think that was 2. I might be wrong. It might have been 3.
Why did it scare you?
Well, it wasn't just that, but for some reason when I was a kid, I went through the entire. It was like the first mission of Orion. All right, it was like going through the entire fucking base, surrounded by water, and apparently there's like bombs and shit everywhere. And then for some reason, some fucked up vampire guy is jumping through the goddamn ceilings. And then that's when you meet Snake the first time, or Big Boss. I don't know fucking.
Big Boss.
Whatever. And then, holy shit. Sorry, there's a loud bang.
That was dogs.
And then, but for some reason, I don't know why I got so scared. I completed the main missions of the story, and it was like nearing the end, and like this I don't remember, DEA or some agent guy was there. He was like, Ryan or whatever, you need to spray the coolant thing as far as you can. And I was like, at what? And then like he exploded and died on the intercom, and I was like, and I was like, I was sitting there like just
freaking out. Like,
what do I do? Just turned off the Xbox. I was like, why did I do that? Oh well, fuck it. I just got up, went downstairs, and started eating food. It's like, fuck this.
What about you, Jared?
Okay, so for me, I got the shit fucking scared out of me on this particular game that I'll be explaining. So I just gotten a brand new game for the 360. And this was like 2-3 years ago. Usually I'm pretty hardy whenever it comes time to like standing up to shit that doesn't scare me. But this fucking game.
You remember the game title?
No, I'm getting there. My parents had gone out shopping. So, and this was about 6-7 o'clock at night. So it's getting dark.
Right.
The lights are out in my fucking house, so I'm already in like an asshole, like no bueno scary game situation. Like, this is not the time you play scary games. The time you play scary games is with the curtains open, the sun blaring in your face, and Pretty Birdie music playing in the background.
Unless you're fucking ballsy.
I'm ballsy now, dude. Like,
yeah, same here.
For me, this particular game was Dead Space 2.
hey!
Oh.
Yes!
Do you remember the specific?
Yes, I was about 2/3 of the way through the game. I was right where you're heading through the corridors to get through, like right after you get through like the trash compactor.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
And I was traveling through the corridors of that ship that you were in. I forget the name of it. I think it was like the
Ishimura.
Ishimura or something like that.
Oh, you were the Ishimura?
Yeah, the Ishimura. Well, yeah, because you've gone through like the trash compactor and you're going through the corridors.
No, you're not in the Ishimura. I mean, you find the Ishimura, but you don't get on it until like after you need to like jumpstart it or some shit. You get something from there. The ship that you're on right now is not the. It's like a base.
I haven't played Dead Space in some.
Oh wait, you're right.
Because you find the Ishimura and then you go on it. But what you're talking about right now is not on the Ishimura.
Yeah. So anyways, I was going through this fucking corridor and it was dead ass silent. Like I was like in the game. Like I was in the fucking zone.
Right.
And
you were immersed.
Yeah, like I was pretty close up to the screen and everything. So I was set up like the biggest bitch there ever was.
Yeah.
I had my fucking blanket on me. Like I was good. So I'm going down this fucking corridor and I hear like a little knocking noise and I'm like, huh? And I don't think anything of it. So I continue going down this corridor and out of fucking nowhere, this necromorph jumps out of the fucking wall. Wall and starts screaming his head off. Well, of course, I have my game sound all the way up. Like, I've got this TV blaring. Nobody's home.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody is home. So, what happens? I start screaming my head off. Get this fucking thing! Like, I'm screaming my head off. I'm losing my shit. I am so fucking terrified at this point. So, finally, I get this thing killed, and I recover from this jump scare somewhat. So I'm going down this corridor, and I hear the same fucking knocking sound.
Oh.
And I'm like, nope, fuck this game, I'm done, fuck this game. And I turned that bitch off, and I went to bed.
Dude, I've played and beaten that game on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
Turtle Beach is on, lights are out, it's dark as fuck, TV right in front of me, again. Volume all the way up in my Turtle Beaches. Yeah. That is terrifying as fuck. Just standing in one spot.
By far, one of the most terrifying games I think I've ever played. Like, definitely on my top 10 list.
Yeah.
Like, probably on my top 5 list. Dead Space 2, by far scarier than the first one and the third one. The jump scares.
Well, obviously the third one. The third one just became a complete shooter.
Yeah, like the ambient noises that were in the second one, like, it was true fucking horror.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was like, it was gory, it was nasty, it was fucking horror.
I think I might have you beat on that. The first time you meet the Berserker in the first Gears of War, that was what scared me so bad.
That was pretty terrifying.
Because I was very young at the time. It was about a year before I met Jason. And I was very young. What you looking at, you motherfucker? So let me explain this. Let me explain the situation. So we were just getting in the building in the mission where you have to be quiet because of the Berserker.
Yeah.
And fucking, she comes, some guy freaks out in the cutscene, and then she tears him apart and then fucks off in the other direction.
Yeah.
And then you go into a room. She crashes through a wall and charges at you. I dodged the first time, and I started shooting at her. I was playing alone. I didn't know what to do. What do I do? What do I do? The bullets aren't working. The bullets aren't working. I started to cry a little bit. Then, because I didn't know what to do, I was lost. And then she charged at me again. I dodged again. And then I went into the second room, and then she charges through the wall and then instantly kills me. I'm just like, ah!
Oh my god.
It scared the piss out of me. And I never played that game until after I met Jason.
Well, you see,
So
when that
bad
happened, I was like, I was playing alone too, and when I saw that, I was anxious, but it didn't scare me.
I was a big
just like,
pussy, dude. I was
Basic
a big pussy
ass
when I was
bitch.
like,
We got a basic ass bitch here. Gears of War 1, the Berserker. Okay.
That
Alright.
shit scared the shit out of me. They didn't
We
really
know
good with
it's
that.
alright. We all got our basic ass
Yeah.
bitch moments in fucking video games. Like,
And that was
like with me
honest.
back when, I was like 7 years old at the time when with the Metal Gear 2 thing, but still,
Yeah.
I was like, that's my bitch moment right there.
Yeah.
My hardcore bitch moment.
Alright, and finalize it. Your favorite video game of all time.
Oh man, why do you
This
do
is a
this
hard
to us? Why do you do this to us?
Yeah.
Kill me inside.
Yeah, you don't have to explain why. You can just give the title and it at that.
All right. Well, if I had to say one video game, it would have to be
For me,
fuck
Uncharted 2.
Uncharted 2.
I loved Uncharted 2. It's my fucking favorite. If it wasn't that, it would have. If it wasn't Uncharted 2, it would definitely be The Last of Us.
sorry guys, but I'm gonna have to go new school on y'all. Fallout 4. It's just so good.
It's good. Yeah.
Fucking pussy ass bitch.
Oh.
Fuck you. Suck my cock.
Mine. Fuck. What would mine even be? I don't even know. I mean, to be honest, I'd have to say it'd be The Last of Us. To be honest.
Just
Wow, yeah.
There was
Last-
a lot
that's
of
good-
going on there, and so
That's a good-
I've never
yeah.
felt that way about a game in fucking forever. Never before I met that game. So.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening to our third episode of the podcast. Next
Thank
week,
you.
we're going to talk about reasons why we should kill ourselves. Bye.
That's a great
GG.
topic. Let's do it. I'm not even playing. Do it.
Yeah. Let's not even do the podcast. Let's just go do it.
Yeah.